Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I'm going to be talking about the Charizard EX starter deck. Charizard EX was a very strong deck before rotation, and it's even better now. The loss of path to the peaks doesn't show its abilities for that, and Pidgeot EX's abilities can't be shut down. Buddy-Buddy Poffin helps us set up early game and as the game goes on, so all in all, it's in a better place. So excited about this deck. As we take a look at it, we will see the build's a little bit odd, and I will be doing in a future video how to upgrade this deck too, because I think it could definitely get better, but it's a solid deck for sure. One, I'm very glad they gave it for new players because Charizard EX is very good, and it's a deck players should have access to early so that they can win with it, because it is a deck that will win, and also just to learn how it plays as well. And it gives you the Pidgeot EX, which is a great engine, and I like the fact that they've given so many different engines in these starter decks. But as the deck is named after, it's Charizard EX. It's nice and tanky. It's 330 HP, so tough to one-shot. It's got this tremendous ability, Infernal Rain. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 basic fire energies, attach them to your Pokemon any way you like. Its attack cost is only 2, so it powers up itself, plus gets an energy onto an additional Pokemon. So that's very nice. And then the attack is good. It does 180. And then 30 more for each prize card your opponent's taken. So at the start of the game, you're not one-shotting basic EXs and Vs, which is the downside. When we revise the deck, we will probably we can fix that with an addition of an A spec in a future video. But for now, just remember that you're doing 180. You're not one-shotting things initially, but as your opponent takes prizes, you get better. So and it's hard to knock out. So it's a deck that does decent damage early and huge damage as the game goes on, and very tough to knock out. So it's a deck that does like to come back. So we're playing a let me look at the count here. Just make sure 4 of the basic Charmanders, 2 of the Charmeleons. It is a TM Evolution deck. We'll get to the card with the trainers, and then 3 of the EX. Most of the decks that are performing the strongest with Charizard EX don't play the stage 1 or maybe 1 of it. They don't play Team Evolution for the most part, but it's not a bad way to go. So we'll get into that card. Like I said, it's not bad there at all. And then the engine is very nice. It's Pidgeot EX. So quick search ability. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a card, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. You can't use more than 1 quick search ability each turn. So it's not just per Pokemon. If you have both Pidgeot EXs in play, you can still only do 1 quick search that turn, but it's so powerful that's okay. Sometimes I will get up a second Pidgeot EX just for a backup if I'm afraid they're going to knock it out, because if they knock out the Pidgeot EX, it can put you in a tough spot because that is the engine you're relying on. And once it gets to 280 HP, of course, it's limited to what can one-shot it. But once you have 2 in play, essentially there's nothing, I don't think, that's one-shotting multiple 280 HP Pokemon in 1 turn. If there's damage in play already, of course, they can make something happen, but generally they can't. It does play 1 Manaphy with the wave availability, prevents bench damage being done to your bench Pokemon, which has value in some games. I use that occasionally. You don't put this into play unless you need it. You can't attack with it, and it just kind of sits there, hopefully not get otherwise. So, play it when needed. The rest of the time, just pretend it's not there. And then 2 alternate attackers, Radiant Charizard, which is super good. It does 250 damage, so in theory, it's your biggest attacker early game, but it's 5 energies, fire, and 4 colorless. But it's really a late game attacker because its attack cost is 1 less for each prize card your opponent's taken. So as the game goes on, once they've taken 4 prizes, you attack for 1 fire energy, very nice. But of course, by the time you've taken 4 prizes, your Charizard EX is doing big damage too. So it's more for a case if your opponent's taken 4 prizes. I find you attack with a Radiant Charizard, so they take a 1 prize, and then they have to hit through your EX to close out the game, and you're making them take a 7th prize, which does make it tougher. But it's a nice option in the deck. After you attack, you can't attack the next turn unless you retreat to the bench and switch back in. Of course, that resets an effect like that. And then another attacker, which is probably the one I really don't particularly like in the deck, but Moltres from 151. With the abbreviation MEW. It's got an attack which can hit the bench. It does for 3 fire energy. You discard 2 energies, and it does 120 to 1 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It can't hit the active, which I don't love. It'd be better if it had that option as well. Part of why it's here, it gives you a pivot. If it has any fire energy attached, it has no retreat cost. So going second on your first turn, Moltres in the active, attach an energy that pays for the TM evolution to get like to evolve a Charmander and a Pidgey, and then you have free retreat the following turn if you're not knocked out. So that's not bad. That's what it's there for. But it's okay at best, is what I'd say. So the attack, 3 energy, obviously hitting the bench is a nice option. It's not the best in this deck, is my thought, but we'll see when we play the game whether it becomes useful or not. Obviously, some games it can be. 10 basic fire energies, right? We are excelling basic fire energies with Charizard EX's Infernal Rain ability, so just basic fire energy and 10 of that. That's a very solid number. As I mentioned at the start, Buddy-Buddy Poffin's in format now, so we get a full play set, 4 of those. Search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less, put them onto your bench. Shuffle your deck. You really want to get one of these your first turn, or even 2. Then you're in great shape because your Charmanders and your Pidgeys both can get on the bench, as well as a Manaphy if you're going to need that. You can't get your Radiant Charizard or a Moltres with it, but that's generally okay. So that Buddy-Buddy Poffin is great in the deck. We have 2 Nest Balls that get any basic onto the bench, and then 4 Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards, search for your deck for a Pokemon. I'm spending a little more time talking about the cards in this deck because it's a starter deck, so there may be some new players. Ultra Ball is a very, very powerful Pokemon search card. It lets you search for any Pokemon you want. Discarding 2 is okay. One of the things, if you're a new player, I'll just, discarding cards, I find for new players can take a little bit of time to get used to, because you're like, I might need them, and that's true, you might need them, but you also have to do things to advance your board state. So being willing to discard cards and knowing what cards to discard, especially early game, is an important skill, and you just develop that with experience. So for Ultra Ball, necessary. We have these stage 2, so for Rare Candy, it lets you go directly from the basic to the stage 2 Pokemon. Makes the deck very nice there. And as I mentioned, the deck plays the tool, Technical Machine, Evolution. There's a number of evolution item cards. They all have different attacks. For one colorless, you choose 2 of your bench Pokemon. For each of these Pokemon, you take a card, search your deck for a card that evolves to that Pokemon, and put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it. So very nice there, which is why the deck plays a number of stage 1s. When we revise the deck, we'll kind of want to decide, do we want to keep this card in the deck? I think I might, but I want to scale it back. So 3 copies is a lot, I will say, but it's useful. I think with this deck, you still want to go first just to get your basics in play, and get, then you're attacking first with your stage 2s, hopefully on turn 2. But if you go second, the TM Evolution makes for a very solid turn. So if you go second, you want TM Evolution in play on your first turn. Okay, we also play another tool card, one Defiance Band. I don't love it in this deck. If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, your attacks do 30 more damage. Radiant Charizard's Charizard EX's problem, it doesn't one-shot the big things, the multi-prizers early game. And this does help with that potentially, but your opponent still has to have taken at least 1 prize in order to have this activate, in which case you're already getting more damage by them taking prizes. Once they've taken 2 prizes, it can help the math sometimes, but I don't know that it has enough value to do it. Look, I get it, and some people will play it in this deck, even in a regular build of the deck. I don't happen to be a huge fan of it in the deck, but it's there. 1 switch card, switch your active with a bench. Very, it's nice to have. Just 1 copy. The idea being we have Pidgeot EX to get it that 1 turn we need it. Might want some more switch, I'm not certain. 2 super rods, shuffle a combination of up to 3 Pokemon and or basic energy from the disc pile into your deck. Very nice there. And then the supporters, which are obviously a good supporter per turn, is key. 2 Professor's Research, discard your hand, draw 7. 3 Boss's Order. That's a heavy boss count, but a boss is super good. Switch your opponent's bench with their active, so you just control the prize trade. Usually you're doing it to take a multi-prize knockout with your Charizard EX is usually what it's doing, but it can, you can slow down your opponent too if that's what needs to happen as well. 2 Iono, each player shuffles a hand, puts it on the bottom of their deck, draws 1 card per prize card remaining. Good, just an all-around good card. seeing 6 fresh cards is nice, can be disruptive to your opponent late game. And then for Arven, because in part, when you have a tool like Technical Machine Evolution that you might need, for Arven really increases the odds of getting it. You search your deck for an item and a tool, which is nice. It's good. And so in a deck like this for Arven, a deck with a tool you may need for Arven is a must. So that's the list. I think I've hit everything here. And while I think the deck list can be improved, I'll look that down the road, it is a very solid deck. Don't be afraid to play it and certainly learn how it works. And let's just take a look at the deck in action now. All right, let's see what happens here. We'll go first if I get the choice, but if I go second, hopefully then the key thing is to get Team Evolution. But I will go first. I think that's the best play with this deck. You could argue that it wants to go second all the time, but I think first is a little better, and a lot of our opposing decks want to go first anyway. More decks want to go first than second, so taking the advantage from our opponent's advantage away is a +2. Of course, we don't know what we're up against before the game starts, so when we call that the coin flip, we have no idea what we're up against. All right, so taking a mulligan at this point, they do see the 2 Charmeleons, which is unusual for a Charizard deck. They don't see the TM Evolution, but they do see 2 stage 1s. So they know, okay, well, this is a very nice starting hand. I got a Nest Ball and a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. So, and I have a research for next turn. I don't have access. I have a Rare Candy. I don't. All right, so Sandy Shocks. Okay, so Sandy Shocks is tricky. Because its ability only kicks in for Auxiliary Energy once it gets to 4 or fewer prize cards. And I don't really, we'll see how this game goes. That's what I'll say. I don't think I want Moltres or I don't want either of those guys. Okay, so I'm going to drop down 2 Pidgeys just because Pidgey's really good. If they gust up my Pidgey and knock it out, I will be sad. How do I want to work this? I guess I attach somewhere. I'll attach active. I don't think they can knock me out, and I will just end turn. Sandy Shocks, which they're attacking with the Ancient that does, 70 per energy you discard, I believe. And I'm terrible at these Pokemon names. Well, I'll find out what that card is very shortly. It's fighting. It's which is, I think it's a dragon type Pokemon. So they okay. So they probably play Iron Hands as well. So getting these Pokemon evolved is going to be very big. So maybe I shouldn't have put down a second Pidgey. That might have been a mistake. Because Iron Hands, I'm weak to Iron Hands. And grabbing 3 prizes, two knockouts on my Pidgey EXs gives them game. So I might not want to evolve the second Pidgey. I'll think about that. So Raging Bolt, which is their main attacker. And they might get the knockout. That's true. I wasn't thinking, right? They need to have a switch card. And they just need a second energy. And they can just discard. So they got the second energy in play with Gutsy Pickaxe. If they have switch, they can attack this turn. And I cannot get the follow-up knockout, which isn't great. And they're going to get this is kind of bad. This is bad. All right, I'm going to send up Pidgey. I'm going to send up Pidgey, evolve him into Pidgeot EX with Arven. I have Rare Candy, and I'll discard. Do I want to just interesting. Okay. I'm going to research. I've switched up my plan. I wasn't expecting the Charizard EX. Since I have the Rare Candy Charizard EX, and yes, I need energy in play. This is not a great spot. I think I want to hit into them. I will switch because I'm going to attack. I kind of don't love taking. I got to say, taking the knockout's concerning for me. I will say that. I'll evolve him. I'll attach my energy here. If they one-shot me, it's just game over. I don't think they will. Right, because they don't have any energy acceleration. I think it's pretty much impossible. I mean, they have, what, 3 gutsy pickaxes in deck and such. So getting judged, it's okay. You know, obviously I have the stage 1 down. Okay, that's not terrible. I want to get an Ultra Ball, I think, with Arven and a tool, which I'll discard the tool with the Ultra Ball, and it might get rid of the energy, and then I can super rod those back in and get a Pidgeot EX. So getting a Mew down for for a bit of an engine prime catcher. So they're going to take out him, which I don't like. And the Mew's got free retreat, so that works out well for them. For upgrading the deck, prime catcher is certainly an option to put in the deck. Most of the, and that's definitely a solid option. I think what I'm going to do is go with the, I think I'll upgrade it with maximum belt. That gives me 50 more damage. And it's not conditional like Defiance. Is it banned? Defiance Band, yeah. So are they gonna? Okay, so they're not attacking, which that's not terrible actually. It's not terrible. So I'm going to. I guess I research here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll make this play. I might as well. I should rod back. I'll rod them both back. I don't. Yeah, I do want to get another Charmander down. I'll attach. Might as well, and I'll research. I mean, I have free retreat, but hopefully I get. Okay, not bad. Let me get down my Charmander because I want to get another guy going here. I want to get rid of. I'll get rid of the Team Evolution. I think I'm okay without that. Yeah, and I have more in deck if I need it. I will grab a Pidgeot EX. Just take a peek here. I have one more EX. Charizard EX, that is. Okay. So I evolved the Pidgey this turn, right? I mean, I played the Pidgeotto down, right? So I can't. So the question. So I should grab something here. It kind of feels. I definitely should grab something. What do I want to get into play? Do I want to? They don't have any cards in hand. I do like that as well. So I'll get another Charmander into. Let me take a look. I'll drop that another Charmander. I might regret it, but I think having. Eventually I will get the third. My third Charizard's prized. But so this is a game 2 where swinging that 120 to the bench will take me knockouts as well. So that Moltres has value in this matchup. One thing to keep in mind, I didn't say it, I don't believe in the deck overview, is you generally want to use the TM evolution to go from the basic Charmander to the Charmeleon. You generally don't want to use it to go from the Charmeleon to the Charizard EX, because then you don't get to use Charizard EX's ability to accelerate energy. So just be aware of that. You may already have energy in play and be okay with that. But so just keep that in mind. All right, so because they had a 0-card hand, but they do have Mew EX for some draw. So I guess they drew a Trekking Shoes. And then they got an EXP share, which they attached and got some cards. So, okay. So how do I want to work this here? That's part of my question. All right, so they don't have iron hands, right? Which I like. I do like that. Do I want to take the prize now, or do I want to keep spreading damage around? Let's think. So I'm doing 180. I might want to. I might want to spread some more damage around. I gotta say, keep them from. Just keep. Yeah, I think I want to keep them from setting up at this point. And I'm gonna just get another Pidgeot EX up. I can't use it this turn. But I think I want to boss. I think I just want to keep smacking stuff. Just keep smacking stuff. In fact, I think taking out the Sandy Shocks would be best, right? Because they don't want to attack with him anyway. This is just for its ability. This guy has the tool, so he's the natural target. I'm 10 short, and there is Vitality Band or something. I could have gotten that damage there, but I'm happy with this. And by getting rid of Sandy Shocks, they have the ability. They can't accelerate energy as well. So, right. So the capsule, part of what does make life tougher as well, for sure. So boss, what are they going to gust up? And that's fine. I mean, I have Rare Candy. I could care less about that. So, I think I want to take a prize this turn. I do have another Charmeleon in deck. I mean, Charizard EX in deck. I don't think I want to Arven. Let's see what I draw. So I could Arven, grab Ultra Ball. So I'm going to use Arven, Ultra Ball, and I think I'll get rid of another. Actually, I'll get rid of TM Evolution. I'm pretty sure I don't need that. I don't think I need Defiance Band either. I don't think I'm falling behind this game either. So I will do this. Keep the Rare Candy. Evolve my active. Nice and easy peasy. I have the Charmeleon on the bench, which is very nice as well. I will accelerate some energies, and then I'll grab some card, right, with my and I'll attach an energy to the Charmeleon. So I'm out of energies in deck. Let's think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 2 more energies potentially available. I will grab a Super Rod because I might need that. I can do a Hard Retreat next turn as well. I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to sit on the card. I'll take the knockout this turn. What do they need to knock me out? I got to do the math there. Will I win the race here? That's so Manaphy. I was hoping to get my other Charizard EX. That's what I need to get. So Raging Bolt does 70. So they need what? They need 5 energies. So they'll get the knockout this turn. This is the problem. They can go boom, boom, and boom. They can that's 3 Charizard EXs, but I might need to attack with a Pidgeot EX as well, because he does 120. So the Pidgeot EX finishes off one of their Raging Bolts, which is good for me. And so I might just do that because I need to get this other. I really would like to get this other Charizard EX evolve. So they're going to take the knockout here. So they're getting a bunch of energy in play. I might want to take out the Sandy Shocks this turn. That's one of the options too. Finish off a Sandy Shocks. Just making it tougher for them to keep scaling for the Charizard EXs, right? That's one of the things I want to do. But on the other hand, taking the knockout with my Pidgeot EX could be very nice as well. What's the boss situation? I just played 1, so I have 2 more available. So I'm gonna rod the energy back. Actually, I'm gonna rod the 2 energies and the Charizard EX. That solves that problem, actually, doesn't it? So yeah. So I don't need to worry about pulling it from the prize cards. And then So I think... Yeah, I think I'm in pretty good shape here is what I would say. So I'm going to... I do want a boss, though, right? Let me just... No, I'm going to Rod first, in case boss isn't there, right? Just in case. I have 2 more bosses. They could both be prized. I'm not certain. I'm pretty sure they are. I'm going to take out the Raging Bolt on the bench, though. But then I have access next turn to... If they gust up my Charizard, sorry, which is the one, in one sense, the bad play I don't want, that's okay. So I will take out the Raging Bolt with the energy, because that sets them back more. Just making sure, yeah, he does the 120. So take the 2 prizes here. And, yeah. So I'm 1 knockout away from winning. At this point, everything's a multi-prizer in play. They do have the XP share, so it doesn't... I guess it didn't matter that they had the tool there that did it. But getting it didn't matter. So, you know, once they knock me out, they're down to 1 prize, so I one-shot them. The only way they can not... You know, they'd have to... is there any way they could... You know, is there any way they don't lose next turn? If they take out my single prizer, that actually would be good, right? Because then... I do have that other boss in deck, though. So I think I should have game anyway. Right? If they could... I mean, look, they could gust up my Charizard EX. They have to use their boss for that. They could use Counter Catcher as well. I have Charizard EX in hand. I evolve. I got energy back in, so that's okay. I got energy back in the deck. Sorry, so it works out pretty well. So yeah, right. I do. So the math is. I think I do 300 anyway. Let's think. If they have 4 prizes, that's 240. Right. 6 times. Oh wait, 4 times. So Iono. Okay, but that's okay. This is why having 2 Pidgeot EX is good for me. I should just have game this turn. They're hoping, and I don't think they have anything that will get them what they need. So I'm just gonna attack. I'm just gonna set the Charizard EX, and before I attack, I'll just make sure and they didn't even get the knockout, which is rough for them. In fact, I top deck boss, so why don't I just do that? I'm just gonna... I got a thumbs down. I don't know. I mean, what's with that? I don't know what's with that. But anyway, so there we go. Boom. And, you know, I don't know why they give me the thumbs down and they conceded before I took the prizes. Whatever. It is what it is, right? Actually, there's a little tutorial in the game, and the game's tutorial shows the AI giving you thumbs down and stuff. So I'm tier 70. That's very nice. The deck worked quite nicely, and with these levels, or I'm level 70 for my in the game, and I get 200 coins, which of course the rewards are pretty pointless, right? I get a little cosmetic for that. Yippee, right? So, but deck worked very nicely that game. All right, let's see what happens here. Hopefully get another nice game. With the starter decks first, I did the Giratina Lost Zone deck, largely because it was just essentially a modified version of the older one, an improved version too. All right, and like I want to go first again, right, which I did in the last game. I talked about my thoughts about that a little bit. You can let me know below if you agree or disagree. All right, so this is the worst starting Pokemon for me because his retreat cost is really high as well. So we'll see what happens. We will see. Okay. It's not the worst hand in the world. I can get down a Charmander and a Pidgey and I have Rare Candy and I have Arven. Let me think. But I've got an Ultra Ball this turn and next turn. So Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, get rid of the 2 energies probably. I have to then... yeah, we'll see. Okay. Ooh, so an item lock deck. Well, that's gonna be... That's not great. I'm glad I have the stage 1s, though, in this case, I gotta say. Because that's... and I'm gonna get rid of Defiance Band. I might end up needing it, but I'd like to keep the energy, I gotta say. So, yeah. You know, again, I wish I had never Radiant Charizard on the active, but it is what it is. And just end turn. So, we'll see what happens here. Right, so they may do Enveloping Shadow, flip a coin. I assume that's their play. And then if it does 10 damage, but the bigger thing, they can item lock me, and that doesn't feel good. And then it comes down to coin flips, which isn't great. I wish coin flips were a little less important in the game, but it is what it is. Salvatore, which is, let me just double check. So evolves, okay. And what does this say? Yeah, so the Bayonet EX. So it's guaranteed item lock. So this isn't great. 30 damage. Now it's a lot of turns to smack through me. What do I want to do here? I guess I'm going to have to Arven anyway, right? I want to Arven because I got to thin things down, partly. So, oh crap, Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Again, these are all things I'm not going to get to play, which isn't good. So we'll see what happens. I guess at this point, I'm kind of glad I have the Radiant Charizard in the active because... it's a lot of turns to get him through. Hopefully, I would like to get a boss, and I would probably just gust up Bidoof, hope to stall him. Because if I can stall him a turn, just even getting my Charizard EX powered up, it's actually pretty good. So, hey, I grabbed an Iono. If they play Iono, I'll be very happy, because I did nothing that turn. So, that's okay. And I'm glad I Arven for those cards that I didn't want, because, okay, this is good. This is good. I have a Pidgeotto. Do I want to... I might not even discard my hand now. I might not even discard my hand. So I may toss down the Moltres. I think I want to kind of sit on... Actually, I can evolve these guys, right? Which is super nice, right? So I think I can play my Tool, because tools aren't items, so now I'm helped because of that rule change. Do I want Moltres in play? I don't think I do. So now the TM Evolution helps out a lot as well. Hopefully I have the stage 2 in the deck. Hopefully I have another Pidgeot EX, right? Boom and boom. I don't have a choice. So that's good. So, and hopefully I have, and I do. So that means I can get a Charizard EX into play this turn. That's very nice. So very nice. And I have the research as well, which I would probably do. And yeah, so that was a great, that Iono, you know, they wanted to get some cards for them, I guess, but I wasn't doing anything, you know. So they needed to understand that. And maybe they did, and maybe they felt that was a risk they had to take. So Prime Catcher. So are they going to... what are they going to do now? Trainer. So it doesn't knock me out, though. That's the nice. They only have one trainer in hand. So if they evolve, right, I assume they will. So they missed the knockout, and that life is pretty good. That's what I'll say. I think I do want to research. I haven't played a Rod yet. Of course, I'm going to lose access to Rod, but I want to get down another. The fact that I didn't have a second trainer in hand was really big, though. Really big. I could Iono here, maybe. Maybe I think I want to Iono instead, right? I'm gonna Iono. I have Pidgeot EX still to play, but I'd like to get energy accelerations to some of my other Pokemon, is what I'm thinking. Oh, and they didn't item lock me. Oh, that's right. They didn't item lock me. That is true. So I will do this. How do I want to drop down? I want to... just going to drop down one more. I trying to... Because I don't know if they're going to, like, gust me around because I can't switch and stuff. So I don't want to have too many Pokemon in play. I have to say. So I'm going to save him still. And they conceded. Okay. So the fact that I got the evolution down that turn really put him in a bad spot. I was just taking my time, just wanted to set things up because I obviously was a bunch of turns before I win. So I didn't want to rush the turn. I just wanted to be thinking through, okay, what do I need to do for the future of the game? And so up to, 500 points on the rank ladder, so one more away from moving up to the next league. That's nice. So anyway, we see the deck performing well in another game. All right, let's see what happens here. Last game was a win because my opponent didn't do anything. They got the starter in play and just stopped playing. So, okay, get to go first again. I'm liking that. And we'll see what happens. You know, look, Charizard EX is very good. I'm a big fan of it. I have a Pidgey, Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Okay, this is solid. Have Arven. This is good stuff. Maybe. Well, I can attack with Charizard next turn for sure. So I think I drop down because Arven could get me my Ultra Ball and a tool, which I mean I could get, which I don't know that I really. So when I'm up against Iron Crown, okay, Iron Crown is a tricky one. Iron Crown is tricky. So let me get down. All right, I need to get 2 Charmanders down because he's what I need. Iron Crown's a dangerous deck though. They may knock me out this turn. I'm not thrilled about that. So I don't think I want to. Do I want to Ultra Ball? I'm going to Ultra Ball away in Arven. Just to get down another Pidgey because I'm a little concerned with what may happen here. And yeah, the energy was an easy choice. Now the problem is Arven gets me Ultra Ball. I mean, or Rare Candy in this case. And I need to discard cards with... Actually, it'll get me a Rare Candy at this point because I have Charizard EX. So, and then I can attack. So Iron Crown, as they kind of are just getting things going here. See what they grab. Yeah, so they get 2 future Pokemon, which is very good. It's any, right? Yeah. I mean, I was going to say it could be evolutions, which is in theory true, but there are no future evolutions. All the ancient and future, all the Paradox Pokemon are basic, so it's a pointless statement to say. So Miraidon, Miraidon one-shots. So this is where Miraidon's good. It takes a prize. And, yeah, and I don't I mean, I could see what happens. I'm going to send up. I mean, I don't think unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to boss. If I hit a boss, that would be awesome. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get I'm not going to get my Pidgey in place. So this is an awkward game here, is what I'll say. Arven. So I need a Rare Candy to attack this turn, which I would definitely want to do. I guess I grab I'll grab Team Evolution because I might need that next turn. Defiance Band doesn't help me this turn, so I'm going to evolve the active because he's who I need to attack with. Get my energies into play. Of course, I need to do that. 2 on the Charizard EX, 1 on the Charmander. I will evolve the Charmeleon. I don't want to drop down Manaphy. No, he's not good for me. So I take a knockout, but you know, So it's not a great set of things. Look, the future box is scary. I am finding going up against it that it's a scary deck. All right, so I have access to Charizard another second Charizard EX. That's really good. I really would like to get Pidgeot EX into play, but so far things are not going that way for me. I need to get a little lucky with my top decks. All right, so Heavy Baton, which they move the energy off to power up their next attacker. So Iron Hands, okay, he's scary because he can take, and he will one-shot. So are they just attacking here? Did they use a support already? So 200. The good news is they don't take a prize. Now the problem is they're going to knock me out next turn. Oh well, that's very nice. So now, how do I want to work this? This is a little scary because now I can I could get Pidgey EX, right? I'm going to grab him, and then I'm going to play a supporter. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm doing, what am I doing? I'm doing 210, so I don't get knockout. Oh, I can knock him out, though. I can knock him out with my tool, right? 210. So Defiance Band comes into play here. I like that. Let's see if it's prized or not. If it's prized, I will grab a supporter. So Defiance Band. Just make sure. Oh no, I'm not behind on prizes, so don't do that. So I'm going to research here because I got nothing in hand, right? Just research. And I will attach here. They're going to knock me out next turn, unfortunately. But I did accept that as the situation too. Yeah, so this is where the Maximum Belt, that would have been an awesome turn from Maximum Belt, of course. So another Iron Crown in play. They really should have another Iron Hands in play or something, right? Because they want to move, they really want to power up their next attacker, and I don't really think they want to, so it's Iron Hands or some other, or Miraidon, that they want to, they'd like to power up another Iron Hands next turn, but they might not have access to it, right? They need an Iron Hands on the bench. Switching, heals up some. I still one-shot them, so it's not that big a thing. Yeah, so I mean, they're gonna, so they amp you very much. They take 3 prizes, which isn't great. It's very concerning, and the Pidgeot EX gives, well, at this point, one more knockout with Iron Hands, with one more amp you very much, and they just have game. So that's not a great feeling at all. So let me get. So what do I want to get here? I want to get, an Ultra Ball, I guess. Yeah, I need Ultra Ball, and I will grab Defiance Band. And I might just lose the following turn, but what are you going to do? So I don't want to do the evolution. I need to take prizes here. I have Free Retreat. I have Defiance Band, so there we go. Going to accelerate my energies because that's what I want to do here as well. I will put 1 on Charmander, Charizard, 2 on Pidgeot, because at this point, if I get this other Charmander into a Charizard, he will accelerate anyway. I guess I toss on Defiance Band. Actually, I'm going to toss Defiance Band on the Pidgeot EX, because it does help with him, and we'll see what happens. Right, the fact they only have Iron Crown in play makes their energy movement a lot less useful, right? So we'll see what happens. Look, they're in the better position, though. This is where this future, the Iron Crown is a very scary deck. So they have free retreat. So I'll see what they can do. I have 2 more turns though before I can win. Okay, good. That's big for me. Whiffing on energy is huge. 4, 5. So they have 7 energies that are not out of their deck. 3 in play, 4 in the discard pile. I have boss's orders here, so I'm gonna want to do that. Because I got to take out the Iron Hands. That's what I just got to keep doing here. They might get a second one to play, but if they attach, okay, they're ahead in prizes. Okay, another Iron Crown. I mean, okay. They're gonna give me a good poke and then get Accelerate Energy to Iron Hands. That's their play, right? They want to get an energy on the Miraidon and do that. He does a decent amount of damage, 40 plus what, another 80. So, but he doesn't 2-shot me, I don't think. So he's gonna get 2 energies onto the Iron Hands. Oh, that's okay. I mean, that's all right. I mean, I assume that's the play. We'll see what they actually end up doing here. So they want to take a knockout, which is okay. I mean, I assume they don't have an energy. Okay, I mean that's that's really nice, I gotta say. So I want to. I'll just retreat. Why not, right? I have the switch card, but I also have the energy, so I'll just attach the energy. I just double checking my attacking. So I need to take out Iron Hands. I mean, that's how I lose the game here. And let me grab something with him. I should evolve my other guy here, which I could have done anyway, right? I didn't have to retreat either, I guess, but just do this. I have energy. Just double. It doesn't matter. I don't have energy, but it doesn't matter, right? So, Rare Candy U. I will just say no. I know I'm going to fail it anyway. Take the knockout. So, at this point, I one-shot everything they have in deck. So, unless they can win this next turn, I think I have guaranteed game. My Pidgeot EX is my weakest guy, but they need to hit at least 280, right? And I mean, Iron Hands will one-shot him. They actually just need the first attack right now. That's the thing. So 3 prizes, 3 energy, and they have the knockout. So we'll see what happens. That's great that they had to discard the electric generator. So they have 2 of those. They have to get 3 energy in play though. 3 energy on the Iron Hands, and they have game. I don't know what the odds are. I'm feeling, I actually have a solid chance to win this game. They're not doing anything, so I think they missed what they needed, right? I assume that if they hit the cards they needed, they would have, so they didn't hit it, and I think the odds were probably in my favor. The fact that they had to discard their second electric generator really did hurt them. So got the win there. So a bunch of wins with the deck. So very pleased about it there. And starter deck, a very good deck. I think the deck build can be improved on, which I'll be looking at down the road. But certainly play the deck. Even if you don't like this build, I encourage you to play this build just to get a sense of how it works. It's always good getting experience with different decks. And you should find that the deck does win for you, and just have some fun playing Pokemon. Take care.